House of Cards.
TCG.
Hey guys, it's Tyler from House of Cards TCG, and today I get the honor of filling in for Shane to show you my Rokket Link Dragoon deck. So I'm super excited for this. I'm super excited to show you it. I run it a little bit different than most people do, and I'm excited to duel Shane in the next video, my dragons against his dinos. So I'm going to go into detail with my deck and how I play it and how I utilize it to actually overpower the competition. So let's get into it. Let me show you the deck, and then I'll show you the different combos that go along with it. Alright guys, so to start, we're going to go with some starters that I like to use. We're going to start with 3 black metal dragons. These are good intros because this lets us combo off into our Red Eyes Darkness Dragon and lets us go into Romulus and some different things. So black metal is something that you want to draw and get a start with. I also run 3 Starlage Seaforts. Again, this is another one that lets you do different extenders and go into some different moves. You can use it to go into Striker, or you can use it to actually pop itself and then pull any of your black or white dragons. Also, you can use it to go into Chaos Dragons, so it has definitely some good ways to go into some different moves. Got Red Eyes Wyvern. I use Wyvern just as an extra play if I want to bring back any Red Eyes Dragon. And then I have the Red Eyes Dark Metal Dragon. The Darkness Metal Dragon is huge because if I play Black Metal Dragon, I'm going to use that to go into Darkest Metal Dragon to then bring back Black Metal Dragon and to go into Romulus and maybe some different moves, or if I'm at the end of my board, some other things. We do have 3 Rokket Tracers. Obviously, Rokket Tracer is important to go into Borrelsword Savage Dragon, Borrelode Savage Dragon, sorry. Then we have 2 Rokket Rechargers. This is again to go into that. I do play 1 Silver Rokket Dragon. And then something different that I play that I've found that I've really liked is I play 3 Galactic Spiral Dragons. My board is set up to really overpower the competition on first draw. And then these is just another special summon that I can put out on the board to go into some different combos. I do have 1 Absoluter Dragon. The goal with Absoluter Dragon is to send it to the graveyard to then get a Rokket into hand. So I'm always looking to ditch that into the graveyard to get Rokket Tracer in my hand. I do have Phalanx, and that is for the Romulus combo. I do play 1 Red Rose Dragon and 2 White Rose Dragons. A lot of people play 1 White Rose Dragon. I like to play 2 because as soon as you draw 1, you're bricked, and it really halts your combos that you're going into. So I think playing 2 is the smart move on that one. I have the White Dragon Wyvern Buster, Black Dragon Kala Serpent, and the Chaos Dragon Levenier. Obviously, the white and black dragon are pivotal. You can play 1, and that goes into some different combos. And then Chaos Dragon is another in-board game play that you can either destroy. If you're going second, I like to use it to destroy 2 cards on the field. If I'm going first, then I'll use him to yank a card out of my opponent's hand. I do have 1 Omni Dragon. He's important to actually continue combos when I go into LP and Pisty. So I might pull a Chaos Dragon, I might pull Rokket Tracer. He gives me a lot of extenders to kind of figure out, depending on what's in my hand, how I'm going to go into that. I do play 3 Noctovision Dragons, just as another good play there. You have to have the 3 quick launches, and that allows you to go into Rokket Tracer. If you draw a quick launch, it kind of changes your in-game because now you can use your Omni Dragon to go into Chaos Dragon versus having to use it to go into Rokket Tracer. I do have 3 World Legacy Guard Dragons as another way to go into different moves. 3 Chaos Spaces. And then I do play 1 for 1. That allows me to summon either my Seafort. It also lets me go into maybe my Black Metal Dragon. So it gives me some different options there. 1 Boot Sector Launch. I don't think that 2 is necessary in this deck. If you just, again, my play is to set the board on first draw and then overpower you from there. So I don't think that I need to play 2 Boot Sector Launches. I just play 1. Do have 1 Dragon Ravine. If I draw Dragonity Divine Lance and then I use Romulus, I'm going to bring Ravine in, and then I'm going to use it to send Absoluter Dragon to the graveyard. So that's why I play that. I do have a Super Poly, and that is, the Super Poly is for a different angle I use in my extra deck, and I'll explain that. And then I also have the Dark Magician, Red Eyes Fusion, and the Red Eyes Black Dragon. So that is my main deck. I'm going to take this off here. And I'm going to show you the combos that I use and the boards that I end up with. Then we're going to go into some hand traps and some other spells that I play. I do play 3 triple tactic talents in the main deck. With as many hand traps are out there, it allows me to draw 2 more cards and continue my combos. I do run 3 infinite impermanences. I play 3 Ash Blossoms to stop my opponent. And then I do play 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I like Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit because not only does it negate the effect, but it actually also destroys the monster. So I really like playing that because if someone brings out any cards, uses an effect, I can use that, but then it also destroys the monster as well. So going into the extra deck, so we have Striker Dragon, which then we link off into Romulus, which then we go into Link Cross, Martial Meadow Marcher, Haplofax, Herald of Arclight, Elpie, Pisty, and then that's kind of like the normal Dragon Link dragons that you're always going to see in most of the decks. Those are the combos. I mix it up a little bit. I use the Skull Dread Dragon, and I'll explain how I've added this into the deck and how I utilize it. I think it plays very well in what I'm looking to go. Then I'll play Boral Sword Dragon. That's another additional play. I like his effects are just so crucial, especially when you're dueling, to not only make a monster that your opponent summons. If you're going first and then now it's your opponent's turn and they summon a monster, I can put it into defense mode at that point. And then on the flip side, when it's my turn to attack, I can negate or half the attack of that monster, and I gain that attack myself. So it can really, going for a game, it can really be a crucial piece. You have to have the Borreload Savage Dragon, and then I play the Predaplant Anaconda along with the Starving Venom Dragon. And then I also have Appaloosa and, of course, Red Eyes Dragoon. So now I'm going to show you on my board how I utilize all these monsters, and we're going to go into the combos. So before we go into the combos, I'm just going to show you my extra deck, my side deck, I'm sorry. So I do play 1 Dino Wrestler, 3 Artifact Lancia, and then I'll play 3 Nibiru. I've thought about adding Nibiru to my main deck. Haven't done it yet, but you gotta have Nibiru. I do run 3 Cosmic Cyclones, and that's for anybody that uses the spells and traps. I have 3 Dark Ruler No More. I think that's crucial to any deck. And then I have 1 Lightning Storm and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. So that's my side deck that we'll utilize, especially when we're dueling Shane with his dinos. So now to go into some combos, let me just get those set up real quick. Alright guys, now we're going to go into the different combos with this deck. I'm going to show you 2 different variants. For this one, we're going to start, and let's just say that you drew an access to Quick Launch and an access to Black Metal Dragon. So with that, I'm just going to say that we have these 2 cards in hand. So with Quick Launch, we have an access to Rokket, and then with Black Metal, we're going to go into some combos. So let's say we're going to summon Black Metal Dragon. We're then going to link off Black Metal Dragon, and then we're going to go into our Striker Dragon. So Striker Dragon's effect is going to activate, allowing us to put Boot Sector Launch into our hand. From there, we are going to use Black Metal Dragon's effect, and that's going to allow us to put Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon back into our hand as well. We're going to use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon's effect to pop Striker Dragon, put him in the graveyard, and then special summon himself. When he special summons himself, it allows us to bring back a dragon. So we're going to bring back Black Metal Dragon. From here, we're going to link these 2 off, and then that's going to allow us to go into our Romulus. All right, so we link off Romulus to go into Link Cross. Link Cross's effect activates, putting 2 tokens on the board. Now positioning is everything when it comes to the tokens and everything. You want to keep everything over here away from the monsters because we need these 2 positions to go into our Elpie and Pisty. So now we're going to link off our Phalanx and our 1 token, and we're going to go into Martial Metal Marcher. Martial Metal's effect's going to activate, which allows us to bring back our Phalanx. I'm going to put Phalanx right here, and then we're going to link off Martial Metal Martial Metal and Link Cross. And we're going to go into our Kriston Help Effects. Now, Help Effects' effect's going to activate, which is then going to let us bring out our Red Rose Dragon. Now from here, we're going to use Red Rose and the token to link off and to go into our Herald of Arc Light. Now Red Rose's effect is going to then activate from there, letting us bring out a White Rose Dragon, which I'm going to place right here. From here, I'm going to link both these dragons off, and that's going to allow us to go into our Elfie and Pisty, which is positioned right here and here. So now I can activate their effects. So we're going to go start with Elfie, use his effect to then bring in our Omni Brotar. Omni Brotar's effect activates, which then you discard a card, and then you can pull any dragon from your deck. So since I have access to our Rokket Tracer with Quick Launch, I'm then going to go ahead and grab a Black Dragon here. This is going to allow me to go into some different combos, some different things. So now, with this play here, actually what I'm going to do, if this were the board that I was looking to set up, I would probably go ahead and special summon by banishing a light monster, our Black Dragon. I would then take all 4 of these, including the Help Effects, and I would link those off into Esteruja, Skuldred. So now he allows me to draw 4 cards, put 3 back into the deck. Since we're doing the combos, some different things, let's just say that we got access into some different things. Obviously, White Dragon goes back into our hand now because we just used Black Dragon. And then we would add some extra cards, so maybe some monsters, some different things into our hand after that play there with the Skuldred. Now we're going to use Pisty's effect. And Pisty is going to allow us to bring back a dragon from the graveyard. I'm going to go and use Romulus here. The reason why I'm going to use Romulus is I'm going to link these 3 off. And we are going to link those 3 off to go into the Borrelsword Dragon. Now with the Skuldred there, he gains an additional 300 attack, plus obviously has the effect. So now from here, my goal is to go into either Predaplant, I would try to go into Chaos Dragon, and I would want to get the Dragoon out. So let's just say that we special summoned our White Dragon, and we probably had access to another dragon along the lines between the drawing of the cards with the Skuldred and some different things. So let's just say we had another dragon, we special summoned it, it could be any of them. And then we're going to use Boot Sector Launch and Quick Launch. Quick Launch lets us bring out our Tracer. Tracer's then going to pop Boot Sector Launch, and then that's going to allow us to bring out Rokket Recharger. So now we link off Rokket Recharger, Rokket Tracer, and then that goes into our Warlord Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon gains another 300 attack with the Skuldred, and then we're going to link the Kriston to him, putting his attack at about 4,050. From here, we would link off these monsters as well, and then that would go into our Predaplant Anaconda. Predaplant Anaconda's effect would activate, allowing us to use our Fusion Red Eyes and Dark Magician to then go into a Dragoon. And that's kind of the end board that you're looking to open up with. So you have attack monster you can put into defense with 3,300 attack. You have Savage Dragon, which is about 4,050 and has a negate. And then you have Dragoon, and then you should have cards in your hand to use his effect to negate effects. So this is a pretty strong play. I really enjoy this, and that's the kind of the combo that you're looking to go for. Alright guys, so on this one, let's say that we lost the dice roll and we are going to go second on this one, and we drew Seaford and we do not have the means to Rokket Tracer from our draw hand. So we're going to show you how I would go into this going second, assuming you're going to play through hand traps, but these are just the different combos. So the first thing I would do from here, I would then summon Seaford. I would let him pop himself, which lets me add a level 4 dragon to my hand. Now, considering that Seaford is a light dragon, I'm going to add my Black Serpent to the hand. Then I'm going to banish Seaford, and I'm going to special summon Collar Serpent, and we're going to take him and link him off for a Striker Dragon. Now, when I do this, I special summon a Dark Monster. I can then special summon my Noctovision Dragon, and that lets me put in you guessed it, boot sector launch. I'm then going to link them to off, and we're going to go into the same plays that you just saw, which are the Romulus. Romulus then lets me add a Divine Lance. We activate Divine Lance, which then summons Phalanx. Phalanx then gets summoned over here. Now we're going to link off Romulus and go into our Link Cross. Link Cross then lets us put 2 tokens on the board. So with that, 2 tokens, we're going to take the Phalanx and the 1 token. We're going to summon Martial Metal Marcher. His effect activates, letting us bring back the Phalanx. Then we take Martial Metal Marcher and Link Cross and link them off for the Kriston. His effect activates, then letting us summon the Red Rose. Again, it's the same, different ways, but again, we do not have means to Rokket Tracer, which is going to be important here. So we're going to link off the Red Rose for a Herald. And then that lets us bring out a White Rose Dragon, which we're going to go into here. Again, the same concept. We take Phalanx and White Rose Dragon, and we link them off for Pisty and LP. This time we're going to use LP's effect to then summon, and I forgot to mention, which I should add, since we used the Black Serpent, we also added White Serpent to our hand. Forgot to add that there. So we're going to use LP's effect here to summon Omni Brotar again. Again, this time though, we're going to use Omni's effect to then put in a Rokket Tracer to our hand. So Omni's effect on that one, it depends on where you're at with your hand, where you need. So you're going to add Rokket Tracer there. Now we're going to use this. You can then at this point special summon the White Dragon to use the 4 card for the Skull Dread. But let's just go ahead and link these 3 off for the Skull Dread. That's why I think Skull Dread is a very key part to this. It's because if you get stuck, you can special summon him different ways. So we then put Skull Dread there. Use Pisty's effect again to go back into the Romulus. Go back into Pisty, LP, and Romulus. Then to special summon Borrelsword Dragon. Now from here, we're looking to get out our Anaconda, and we're looking to get out our Borrelsword. So chances are you might have another dragon that you can play to get out the Anaconda. But if you didn't and you were stuck here but you wanted to get out the Anaconda, I would play Boot Sector, special summon Tracer. Tracer's effect activates, destroying Boot Sector launch, summoning Recharger. Then you can special summon the Wyvern Buster. Wyvern Buster and Skull Dread can then go into your Anaconda, which, let's just say if your opponent had a monster, you can use Predaplant Anaconda's effect to turn their monster into a dark monster. That's key when you want to summon Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So you could use an opponent's separate monster, or you can use in Predaplant to then special summon with your Super Poly into the Fusion Dragon. Fusion Dragon is a key piece of this when you're going second. You could also use that to go into Dragoon. It literally depends on what you're facing and what you're looking at, because then obviously you're going to go back into Borrelsword Savage Dragon here and equip the Kriston to that. So there's many different ways with the Rokket Dragons that you can just go into so many different combos. I could have brought out Dragoon there, and I could have had a board there. Honestly, it depends on what you're looking at, what you're facing on the opponent's side. This is kind of a going second board that I've utilized. So there's many different ways. And as you're going to see in the next video, Shane and I are going to be dueling. He's going to be using his dinos against my rockets, and we're going to see who the better deck is here. And you're going to see a play going second, going first, and some different things. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if there's any questions, comments, or maybe some adjustments. Maybe you hate the fact that I use Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Let me know. I like to play, and I think it's another out that I have in case I get stuck. And with the other cards, like I said, there's just so many combos you can go into. So that was just 2 for you to look at. I enjoyed this deck profile, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. This is Tyler, House of Cards TCG, checking out.
House of Cards.